Zach, you've started previously at guard, now at center. Talk about the difference in responsibilities in the two positions.
It's like every week to week, it's a different defense that we face. So you're going to go from guard to center, and whenever you have a 30 front, you're going to have a guy on top of you. When you go 4 down, on guard, you're going to have a guy on top of you. So it really depends on the defense we're playing. I like playing center. I played center in high school, but I think the responsibilities are pretty similar. Just depends completely on the defense, honestly, from week to week.
Yeah, when you say that, at center, do you find yourself, with a man on you more than you do at guard?
Actually, in the PSAC, they run more often. Teams run a 4 front, so I actually have usually I'm not as covered. These first 2 weeks we did play 2 30 fronts, so I had a guy on top of me both weeks. So that's usually rare for me to have 2 games in a row where I have a guy on top of me. But this week we'll be facing a 4 front mostly, so I'll be excited to be uncovered and be able to move around a little bit more.
I was just going to say, which do you prefer, when you have a man over you or uncovered?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends who I'm facing. It depends the defense. A lot of teams, if they're blitzing more, sometimes I like to pick up backers and stuff. It just completely depends on the defense, honestly, from week to week.
What's it meant to you to play with high school teammate R.J. Hughes on the line?
It's great. Like, me and RJ have been playing together. We've been playing together for like 13 years now. We've been playing since midget football. And it's awesome. It's like, because we get through high school, we've learned the same technique, and it's just like we have like a click between us, and we're on the same page mentally with technique and our attitude and everything. And I like it a lot, so it's great.
What attitudes what attributes do you think make you so effective, particularly since you're not physically one of the bigger offensive linemen that you'll find?
Yeah, I'm one of the smaller offensive linemen on our team. Obviously, you just look at the height and weight, like I'm just a little bit smaller, but it's like I really focus on technique, and like I was saying, me and RJ, we've been taught technique so much. We were emphasized technique a lot in high school. We had a great offensive line coach in high school, and now with Coach Corey, he's great. He emphasizes technique, and it's all about technique and attitude. I really think those are 2 key attributes to a great offensive lineman. So.
How has Edinboro's offensive line evolved over the last few years?
The last couple of years, we've had a lot of guys in and out. A couple of guys graduate, and as you can see, I've moved from left guard to right guard to center. Guys move around, and we just adjust. It's just really, I think over the past few years, we've gained this different attitude towards the game, that the game's on us. We need to really be a strong unit. We need to be 5 strong so that we can execute our offense the way we want to.
Talk about your leadership responsibilities with so many young offensive linemen on this team.
Yeah, we brought in a big class of freshman offensive linemen this year, and going into camp it was kind of hard because you got to get them on the same page, and we did a lot in spring ball, which got the small group of us that were still here ahead. So we had to get them caught up, and I tried to meet with them and do everything I could to teach them everything that we're doing, get their technique down so that they're hitting the ground running. We did a couple mini camps where we had the freshmen come up over the summer, where I tried to teach them some techniques so that they could hit the ground running come the season.
You mentioned spring ball. Talk a little bit about how difficult it was for you, since you weren't able to physically be there due to an injury.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't like it at all, but I did what I could. I stood around and I taught technique, and I wasn't able to do anything really physically, but I tried to be there as mentally as I could and learn the offense and try to help be a coach, be a leader to the offensive line through spring ball.
You mentioned Jack Corey. Talk about him as an offensive line coach.
Yeah, Coach Corey, I love him. He's a great guy. He really emphasizes the 2 things that I emphasize in offensive lineman, which is attitude and technique. And going through practice, that's what I love. Doing our individual drills with him, he emphasizes technique, and that's what I want everybody to learn, technique, because it's so key. And he just brings his attitude to us. He gets us fired up, and I love it. It's great. So.
How exciting is it to be 2-0 at this point, particularly given what occurred last year?
Yeah, it's great. Like it's a great thing, but you try not to get too excited because we got 9 more. We got 9 more ahead of us, and we're going to take it week by week, day by day. We got to face the challenge ahead of us. So we're got to keep that mindset that every week we're 0-0. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. We need to focus on the game ahead of us and get it done. So.
You were featured in the Erie Times News this past summer for some summer work you were doing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I worked for the intermediate unit right in town, and I did this summer program where I delivered like coolers of food, like sandwiches, milks, and stuff. They were like summer lunches for kids because they're out of school when their parents go to work. So I delivered to parks, churches, schools around Meadville and Erie, and I had 2 different routes that I would go on, and I'd load up the lunches and deliver them for these mainly YMCA programs so the kids could have a lunch over the summer.
How'd you get involved in that?
Coach Lustig actually got me onto it. I guess they had a football player do it last year, and I thought it was a great program. Whenever I was a kid, there was a summer lunch program at my park in my community, and it was very similar. It was the same thing. I was able to go up there and get a lunch when my mom was at work or my dad was at work, so I could just go get. It was just really convenient. So I thought it was a great program, and I loved it. So I decided to do it.
You're an environmental geology major. When you graduate, what do you look to do after graduating?
With the geology major, I like it a lot because there's so many things I could do. You can apply it to a lot of things. I'm really interested in the natural gas industry. There's a lot of work in that right now, which is great. There's jobs available, so I'm really excited about that. And I've already started applying to places to try to, get my foot in the door. And I'll get my foot in the door, try to get some experience to be able to do what I want in the natural gas industry. So.
When will you graduate?
I'll be graduating in December.
Okay.
So.
And any long-term plan, or just kind of see how things go?
It really depends. Like, I'm applying to a lot of different places. I'm really open to a lot of things, so we'll just try to get my foot in the door, get some experience, and see where it takes me. So.